G'day guys, Crypto Jim here again. Today's video is just going to be basically about my last video, and which I made probably like 48 hours ago, and that was basically trying to predict where we were going to price drop to. And in the video, I think we're about 10.5 in the video, and straight away, basically that night after I posted the video, we did come back down to the 38% on the fibs for a retracement level. Now I did recommend, and remember this is not financial advice, but I did recommend, well, I put a buy order in about 38%. It didn't get hit, unfortunately, because as I buy on BTC markets, the BTC markets price is actually inflated because of the Australian dollars, and I'm sure BTC markets actually takes a brokerage fee from that they don't tell you about, which is why the price is higher than it would be if you were to convert it straight from US dollars into Australian dollars. So I missed out on the buy in there, and no, I have not bought in just yet. I'm still waiting to see where the market is going to go in the next couple of days, and I'll just try to show you a little bit about what I think is going to happen with that. So anyway, as we can see here, this is the Fibonacci retracement for the end of the previous wave, which I've determined from historical evidence. We had our previous all-time high here, and we came down to our low point there, and then I've considered that as the next wave because historically this is what's happened. If we go from that, we would expect to see a retracement around a 38, which we did, but the question that everyone's been asking is, you know, was that it? Was that the retracement or the correction that we wanted to see, and now, you know, we're just rocketing to the $12,000 or to the $14,000 mark? Well, I don't believe it was a retracement. In all circumstance, we had 2 days there of volatile movement, and that was it. You know, every previous time it's corrected, we've had at least a week of downtrend to a bottom, and then we've picked back up again. But just with all the news, the CME futures news happening on the 14th. We've had rumours about McDonald's starting to accept Bitcoin, which again, that one's just a rumour for sure. Amazon's created domain names for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'll drop the links down below. But to me, that whole Amazon thing is a bit of brand protection on their behalf. And another reason that I'm quite, not paranoid, but I'm quite hesitant about putting my money back into the market is the whole Bitfinex and Tether thing. And if you haven't read up on that, I'd definitely recommend doing it. I'll drop the link for this at CoinDesk as well. But basically, Bitfinex and Tether are in the same kind of bag here. And there's a great guy to follow on, a guy or girl to follow on Twitter called Bitfinex down here. And he actually points out, or she actually points out everything you want to know and all the questions that should be asked to Bitfinex and to Tether about what's going on with that whole area. And basically, in essence, they think that Tether is pumping up the price of Bitcoin artificially and holding it there. Anyway, I won't get into that, but this article is well worth a read, and I can recommend a few YouTubers out there to follow about this. I know Data Dash, which is a YouTube channel, actually does a 30-minute video on why Tether is pumping up the price of Bitcoin. I definitely recommend that one. I'll drop a link for that as well. Going back to the graph, another thing we can look at, so if we do see a retrace, we'll come down to this 38 again. I'm predicting more of a 50, at least a 50 anyway. But let's look at it the other way as well. When do we buy in if we don't see these levels? Well, this here is a Fibonacci extension. Now, the Fibonacci extension is kind of the opposite to the retracement, because the retracement's actually measuring the support levels below 100% of the price point, so below the top. Kind of like in a bear market, the retracement tool is useful. But in a bull market, the extension tool is used, and the extension tool runs from the bottom of the lowest point, or this wave lowest point, up to the high point, which was there, and then to the retracement that we've seen, which is down here, which gives us these lines here. So we've got this line and this line here. We've also got this one up here, and a bit of support there as well. But what we've got happening right now is we're sitting just below the 38. So right now, the price of Bitcoin is at 10,979 US dollars. Now we've got a bit of resistance up here at 11,220, which it hasn't been higher than since it really came up and popped. So if we get to 220, I'd expect to see some heavy resistance there. Also at 11,378, which was the max, sorry, it was like let's say 11,400 for the max price of Bitcoin. Also got resistance there because that is, again, that's the all-time high. That's a pretty tough barrier to cross. So basically we've got resistance in this whole area here. So between 11.2 and 11.4. So I could expect to see it get there and get stuck there probably. But with all the mainstream media attention again, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a climb again. But I honestly wouldn't say that we're in the clear, and that was the correction until we see at least 11.5, maybe 11.550. That's going to bring us above the 38 extension level. It's going to bring us above the all-time high, and probably the next stop from there is about 11.9. So if we do break that 11.550 level, probably a good time to buy in would be then. Otherwise, I'm keeping my money safe in fiat currency on the exchange. Probably not the smartest idea as it's still on an exchange, but I believe BTC markets is better than any place to leave my money. So anyway, that's the extension, guys. Another thing I wanted to show you as well, let me see if I can get this right. If we can move this to a logarithmic scale on the side here. Now a logarithmic scale is just trying to show exponential growth, but in one nice together scale. Now obviously everything word of mouth is exponential, so you tell 10 friends about Bitcoin, those 10 friends tell 10 other friends about Bitcoin, and those 10 friends tell 10 other friends. We've already got 1,000 people talking about Bitcoin just because one guy told one person, or one guy told 10 people. So to try to analyze a graph with a logarithmic extension on it, we go on the side, change it to logarithmic. Now using this, if we plot the last three waves, this is end of one wave, end of two wave, end of three previous waves. If we plot a line on the low point of each of these previous waves, we get this here. And let me try to do this. Sorry, just a moment. Yep, there we go. So I'll get rid of these for ease of sight. So if we see this line, we can see that of the previous three waves, we've come back down to this line, and you know, this is the day chart as well. So I would not be surprised if, you know, in December we saw Bitcoin come down to this level, and the further along we get, the higher it gets. But if Bitcoin price was to drop tomorrow, would not be surprised if we got to 7,000. Even if 1st of January, even if we saw $9,300 on the 1st of January, honestly would not be surprised. And you've got to take everything with a grain of salt. Like we're dabbling over, you know, oh, should I buy in at 9,000, or should I just buy now at 11,000? Well, we're all in cryptocurrency because we believe in it. So really, $2,000 difference isn't going to matter in the long term. So if you just want to put your money in, if you want to put 10 grand in, or 5 grand in, or $1,000 in, and forget about it for the next 6 months to a year, this is the perfect time to buy. But if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck, or you know, you care about if you buy at 11 and for the next 3 months it's below 11 and then it picks up again, then you know, I'd be following this advice. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Anyway, just remember that this is not financial advice, and this is just a guy talking about cryptocurrency online. So take everything with a grain of salt. Make sure you like and subscribe, and chuck some comments down below, because I'd love to hear what you guys think. And I love just trying to get a feel for the community and trying to help out, especially the newer people to cryptocurrency. Alright, thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.